We just welcome you to the show. We just want to get right into it because we just know you guys have such an incredible story. And we just want to, we're just excited to hear about it. So
I'm already like, we had the pre-show and I'm already getting tears from just the joy and the laughter that we've already shared. So I know that our viewers and our listeners are going to just be blessed by what you're going to bring. So let's get started. Joel and Alex, 5 years of marriage. Let's rewind a little bit. And before you got married, let's talk about how'd you meet, and a little bit about like where did this story begin?
So the story actually began before we met. I mean, that I feel that on my heart. Joel and I were unsaved before we met, and we both had quite a colorful background, lifestyle. We won't share that today, but Joel and I actually met at a pig roast in the summer. There was a venue that holds an annual pig roast, and that's where we met. I actually had just come back from traveling. And interestingly enough, this is where I know God was in it, is I was kind of pulled back. I was traveling around the country, and I really got pulled back to our home state where we lived at the time, and early. And I never come back from my trips early. And that's really the whole reason I met Joel, is because I came back early.
Well, truthfully, I saw her walking across the area, and I said, I have got to meet that. So then I went and I sat at the table she sat at, and the chemistry just was just all kinds of there. You know, we just enjoyed each other's conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it was.
I mean, everybody else knew it. I know everybody else knew it. We probably completely blew up that picnic table, but we just really had off the charts chemistry, and that just kind of kickstarted our connection.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
I paused because it took me 5 weeks to share my phone number with him, which will lead into, you know, where we're going to go in our conversation today. But
so we met, we fell for each other pretty deeply.
Yeah.
We were not saved. We both had a lot of hurt on both of us.
Yeah.
And then after 8 months of dating, we decided to move to Montana together. And after 9 months of being in Montana, we were at each other's throats. And I said to myself, I bet if I got her to church, it would fix her. And I said, do you want to go to church? And she said, yes, to my surprise. And what happened was it fixed me.
Yeah.
And that was the start of our walk back with the Lord, which was just amazing. And it's just fast tracked us so much after everything that we went through individually. You know, we met, how old were we? I was 42, you were 43.
No, I think you were 40 and I was 42, right?
Something like
that. Yeah.
So we were not young, but we were older, both mature, but not really. Not mature in the Lord by all means.
Yeah, I would say probably mature in terms of like our personal lives of, you know, careers, you know, kind of establishing ourselves as adults. You know, I just want to add one comment. So when he had shared his thought bubble around, like, if I could only get her to church, and much to his surprise, I said yes. Well, at the same time, my thought bubble was, oh my gosh, he like needs this. Because if anyone else, I mean, it truly was the Lord working in me, because if anyone else had asked me to set foot back in a church, I would have automatically just shut that down. Not with like distaste, just because it wasn't what I would have ever thought I needed for myself. So
He's so merciful.
Are there any other breaking or waking moments that you can think of that, wow, you faced a win, like as you came together and we're still kind of working through past, where you hit another moment where it's like, wow, this is something that we got to overcome, and you kind of have walked through it together?
Which one?
Yeah, well,
we don't have a boring life.
No, And I would say, I don't want to say untraditional life, but I mean, we're probably typical American that we have like, you know, a blended family, right? So I inherited 4 beautiful stepchildren, and there's a lot of history in that too, which makes it kind of unique. Um, but I don't really know where I'm going with this. It's just not easy. It's not easy. Like our growth, Joel and I both feel like the Lord has been fast tracking us, but that growth also comes with growing pains, right? And it's kind of easy to fall off your lips like, oh, you know, we're doing this now and we got it all figured out. Well, that still comes with um, active, intentional work to make it happen. You know, it's not like if the switch is flipped and you're like, okay, now I'm in this beautiful realm of serenity, and it's just not. I mean, we have some days and they're still messy, right? And it's not that we don't love each other, and it's not that we both have a common goal and we're working towards it, but sometimes it's just messy. So I don't. Why are you smiling at me?
Well, because if you're not under attack, you're not doing anything. It's just
yeah.
We fight, man. We're fighters.
Yeah.
And we fight for kingdom, and
That's
we get
true.
attacked for that.
That's true.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. You know, when so here in the valley, we're in actually the mountains. So we're like 1,200 feet higher than Kalispell, which is the valley. And that valley gets socked in, like what it looks like right out here. It gets socked in for months. But we're in the mountains, so we're 1,200 feet higher. So we see blue sky. So above all that turmoil that socks in, keeps the light out of the valley, above it is blue sky. So there's, you know, when you're in the storm. So this is something that I came up with recently. The calm after the storm. There's always calm after the storm. People talk about the calm before the storm. Well, when you're in the storm, the calm's coming. You just got to get through it.
Yeah. Yeah. And Alex, I just was I know we got a chance to catch up just a little bit before this podcast, but you know, I mean, you were just sharing your appreciation for Joel. And I love that. I love reminding people, like just asking that question, what do you appreciate about your partner? Like what brought you together? What do you appreciate about them? And even that, like just reminding ourselves what we love about each other and what we appreciate, and being able to verbalize that helps to kind of lower I guess the tension that it can happen in any relationship, but I think it helps to that appreciation first helps to bring in the next things in the relationship, the next steps, if we can, appreciate one another first. So, can you just share a little bit just what you were saying before? Because I thought that was actually really powerful in what you were saying.
One of the things that I really admire about Joel, and this is an area that is my weakness, so I rely heavily on him, is that he is just, so I would say in the natural, I would be considered an introvert. He's an extrovert. But one of the things I really admire about Joel is he's so bold about his faith. Like he'll just walk up to anyone and start talking about God, and there's no hesitation there. And
I love hearing these words of affirmation.
but so that's kind of in the public view, right? Is that I get to observe that, and witnessing that strengthens me internally. And then, so that's kind of in the public realm. Well, in the private realm, Joel is really good about carving out time to dive into the Bible. And we were actually talking a little bit about this before going live with you, is just this is one of the things we're going to share later, but like you got to put the oxygen mask on yourself first. You got to sow into your walk with Christ first. Other people aren't going to do it for you. You can watch sermons all you want, you can listen to praise music all you want, but at the end of the day, God has given us the gift of the Bible, right? And that is our treasure chest to open and seek and acquire and digest and dwell on the treasures that he wants to reveal to us in that moment. Even though through marriage, Joel and I are one, we have different things the Lord needs to work on us. So I just really admire that he has been faithful to his readings, that he has carved out time for it. I like to hear his excitement when he gets new revelation. It's just a beautiful thing. I've watched him grow over the past 5 years since we've been saved, but just like in the past year in particular, it's almost like exploded. And part of me is like, well, I don't even know how like all this gets revealed to him. I mean, I'll read to you a text that he literally sent to me the other morning. So we've been kind of in this weird cycle where we've been getting up or waking up between 3:30 and 4. And so the other day he literally got up at that time to get and read into the Bible. But this is literally so he got up, started reading his Bible. He literally texted me, even though I'm the next room over, at 5:18 a.m. He goes, "Are you awake? I'm excited to read to you." So, Joel has, whether it's intentional or not, he's been washing me with the word. Now, that's no excuse for me not to do my own private time in the Bible and the Lord, but it really has just helped kind of like give me the boost I need. And really the unspoken gentle reminder is like, get in it,